let's cover the final Psionic subclass in Tasha's Cauldron of Everything.
You must be talking about the Sorcerer subclass, Aberrant Mind.
I'm Nerdarchy Ted.
I'm Nerdarchy Dave. Welcome to Nerdarchy, for nerds by nerds.
Now let us cast our minds into this video.
So today we're going to jump back into Tasha's Cauldron of Everything, and we're going to take a look at the Sorcerer subclasses, the Aberrant Mind this time, and this is one of the Psionic subclasses that we get. We don't get an actual Scion or Psionics or, the what were they calling it? The
Mystic?
Yeah, the Mystic. Like, they never went back to the Mystic. We got two versions of it. And it looks like they've settled on subclasses. Now, I don't mind the Psionic subclasses. I like them. But I still kind of want my Scion.
I want a base class. Whether you call it a Mystic, whether you call it a Scion, whether you call it a Psionicist, I really feel that 5th edition deserves the full class.
Also, it would be nice to get another intelligence-based class as well. In every edition, we've had some version of Psionics and Scions, so we need our 5e version. But for now, we're going to deal with what we have, the subclasses, which there are some cool elements to it. And we're going to jump into the Aberrant Mind here. Tasha, weighs in on the matter. Tentacles, psychic powers, beings from beyond the stars. One person's bad dream is another person's good time.
Oh, Tasha. I don't know whether that's, scary or, just amusing. But, that's Tasha's standpoint there. But it goes on to say, an alien influence has wrapped its tendrils around your mind, giving you psionic power. You can now touch other minds with that power and alter the world around you by using it to control the magical energy of the multiverse. Will this power shine from you as a hopeful beacon to others? Or will you be a source of terror to those who feel the stab of your mind and witness the strange manifestations of your might? As an Aberrant Mind sorcerer, you decide how you acquired these powers. Were you born with them, or did an event later in life leave you shining with psionic awareness? Consult the Aberrant Origins table for a possible origin of your power.
All right, so we've got a table with 6 different things on it. Just happens to coincide with the D6. You were exposed to the far realm's warping influence. You are convinced that a tentacle is now growing on you, but no one else can see it.
A psychic wind from the astral plane carries psionic energy to you. When you use your powers, faint motes of light sparkle around you.
Doesn't that just basically make you a Twilight vampire?
It could, but it says when you use your powers as opposed to
sunlight.
Sunlight. So I don't know.
You once suffered the dominating powers of an aboleth, leaving psychic splinter in your mind. That would pair nicely with like the folk hero background.
Yeah, I mean, you could definitely play off of that. I mean, it would work kind of well for like the Underdark races. And how you got away, that's a cool story. You were implanted with a mind flayer tadpole, but the ceramorphosis never completed, and now its psionic power is yours. When you use it, your flesh shines with a strange mucus.
That would also be cool to do something with the dark gifts from Ravenloft with the symbiote, right? Have it like, oh, it's just been dormant, it's still there, and it didn't quite work right. That would be really creepy and cool. Number 5, as a child, you had an imaginary friend that looked like a flump or a strange platypus-like creature. One day, it gifted you with psionic powers, which ended up being not so imaginary.
I mean, I'm playing a character that has, the whole concept of I see someone that nobody else does. So, like, this kind of thing can be very amusing of like, all right, well, I'm just going to go talk to my imaginary friend that nobody else sees. So
was that a thought eater from previous editions? The platypus looking creature?
It was. And lastly, your nightmares whisper the truth to you. Your psionic powers are not your own. You draw them from your parasitic twin. Wow.
Yeah, so these are all really bizarre and weird and flavorful, and they can offer like a kind of starting point, jumping off point. If you wanted to make up your own, I'm sure most DMs will be like, oh, this is cool. It's only flavor. It's only, fluff and flavor anyway. But it's fluff and flavor that might add some like cool story elements later on in the game. If your GM wanted to, revisit it, or if you're doing something in a campaign dealing with the Far Realm or aberrations, mind flayers, aboleths, like all this could come back and kind of like see the whole campaign.
If you have that backstory dealing with mind flayers or aboleths, that could be like, well, now I have a goal of I want to wipe out mind flayers, or I want to kill that specific aboleth, and that could be a character goal. It may or may not happen over the course of the game, but it gives the DM something to work with of, oh, here's something that I'd like to see happen. So I like those things that are built into the story that both the player and the GM have the ability to work with.
Yeah, absolutely. But if you want more information on the Aberrant Mind Sorcerer, over on the website, nerdarchy.com, we do have an article, Tasha's Cauldron to Everything, Aberrant Mind Sorcerer, the Scion Reimagined, Re-Envisioned. You can check that out as well if you want additional content. There will be a link down to in the description.
But hey, you like these videos, you like those articles, and you'd like to help Nerdarchy keep making more, why not head over to Patreon and support us there?
As a special reward, every month you'll receive 5e content for both players and DMs alike. You're going to get, races, subclasses, magic item, print and play cards, just magic items, drop-in encounters, feats, spells, poisons, whatever we can come up with, it's going to be over there. A chance to game with us and so much more. Help support us over on Patreon. There'll be a link down in the description. There's even a pack that you can kind of download for free and see what it's all about.
All right, so we're gonna dive into the actual subclass now. I've got my physical book here. So first off, you get psionic spells. You get spells accessed right to your class that are added as sorcerer spells. Whenever you gain a sorcerer level, you can replace one spell from the one you gained from this feature with another spell of the same level. The new spell must be a divination or an enchantment spell from the sorcerer, warlock, or wizard list. So first level, you get Arms of Hadar, Dissonant Whispers, Mind Sliver.
Third level, you get Calm Emotions, Detect Thoughts.
Fifth level, you have Hunger of Hadar and Sending.
Seventh level is Avard's Black Tentacles, Summon Aberration.
And at ninth level, you get Rary's Telepathic Bond and Telekinesis. And all of these count as sorcerer spells for you, and they don't count against, the spells known, which those things are always, a fantastic resource for sorcerers because there is just the limited spells known option.
Yeah, so it's definitely a nice boost. At first level, you're going to receive Telepathic Speech. You can form a telepathic connection between your mind and the mind of another. As a bonus action, choose one creature you can see within 30 feet of you. And you and the chosen creature can speak telepathically with each other while the two of you are within a number of miles of each other equal to your charisma modifier, minimum of 1 mile. To understand each other, you must each speak mentally in a language the other knows. Telepathic connection lasts for a number of minutes equal to your sorcerer level. It ends early if you are incapacitated or die, or if you use the ability to form a connection with a different creature.
So, I mean, this is good for a number of, different uses, whether, somebody is scouting out ahead or, what have you, or if you're talking about late game, you can, have the whole party teleport somewhere and investigate something, and you could be reporting back to someone in town as long as it's within, those number of miles.
Yeah, it's a great thing for exploration and keeping the party connected. Not super powerful. I mean, I honestly feel like at first level they could have used a little bit more of something, but they do get a bunch of spells known and they can do the telepathy thing, which is kind of cool. But again, it's only one creature. It only lasts, in minutes,
right,
before you have to redo it again. I don't know, and the creature has to be within 30 feet of you to reconnect. So it's not like if they're 5 miles away,
right,
you're going to be reconnecting with them. And honestly, like you would need high level magic in order for them to get that far from you,
right,
in that amount of time.
So, I mean, perhaps, if you're going to use it in your game, you might want to tweak that power a little bit or give them something else, as Dave says. Sixth level, we're going to get Psionic Sorcery. When you cast any spell of first level or higher from your Psionic spells feature, you can cast it by expending a spell slot as normal or by spending a number of sorcery points equal to the spell's level. If you cast the spell using sorcery points, it requires no verbal or somatic components and requires no material components unless they are consumed by the spell.
So this is kind of nice because this is just allowing you to basically, cast out magic with your mind. You don't do anything and a fireball just appears. Visually, it's really cool. And then also there's no tells as far as casting spells. Like, I would say you can't counter these spells, like, because you don't see them casting.
So, I mean, you wouldn't be able to do a fireball. You can do the things on their specific psionic spells list. But, Avard's Black Tentacles or Rary's Telepathic Bond, like, okay, boom, you just expend the sorcery points and the spell happens. Sorcery, sorcerers are great because they have that I need more spell slots so you can consume your sorcery points to create those, but here you don't even need to go through that extra step. You can just expend the points and make it happen. And then on top of that, you've got the added effect of not needing any of those additional pieces.
Yeah, which is super cool. And thank you for the correction. So psychic defense is at 6th level. You gain resistance to psychic damage, and you have advantage on saving throws against being charmed or frightened.
I mean, that's a nice little bump. I mean, if you're dealing with aberrations already, resisting psychic damage super helpful, and advantage against being charmed and frightened, useful, helpful.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, resistances are always good. Advantage on charmed and frightened. Psychic damage probably doesn't come up that often, but the charmed and frightened will.
Absolutely. So we get 14th level Revelation in Flesh. You can unleash the aberrant truth hidden within yourself. As a bonus action, you can spend 1 or more sorcery points to magically transform your body for 10 minutes. For each sorcery point you spend, you gain one of the following benefits of your choice, the effect of which lasts until the transformation ends. You can see any invisible creature within 60 feet of you, provided it isn't behind total cover. Your eyes also turn black and become writhing sensory tendrils. You gain a flying speed equal to your walking speed and can hover. You fly as your skin glistens with mucus or shines with otherworldly light. You gain a swimming speed equal to twice your walking speed, and you can breathe underwater. Moreover, gills grow from your neck, and you can fan out behind your ears, and your fingers become webbed. You grow writhing cilia that extend through your clothing. And lastly, your body, along with any equipment you are wearing or carrying, becomes slimy and pliable. You can move through any space as narrow as 1 inch without squeezing, and you can spend 5 feet of movement to escape from any non-magical restraints or being grappled.
I feel like if you spend all the points, you can basically become a flying jellyfish.
So flying, swimming, slimy, and squishy, and seeing invisible creatures. Yeah, I mean, yeah. It's to get all of those things, it's only 4 points, and it lasts 10 minutes. Doesn't have any limitation beyond expending the sorcery points. So use them as much as you want. Have fun with it.
Yeah, I think it's going to be useful and gives you some versatility. 18th level, we're going to get Warping Implosion. You can unleash the Aberrant power as a space warping anomaly. As an action, you can teleport to an unoccupied space you can see with 120 feet of you. Immediately after you disappear, each creature within 30 feet of the space you left must make a strength saving throw. On a failed saving throw, the creature takes 3d10 force damage and is pulled straight toward the space you left, ending in an unoccupied space as close to your former space as possible. On a successful save, the creature takes half as much damage as isn't pulled. Once you use this feature, you can't do so again until you finish a long rest, unless you spend 5 sorcery points to use it again. As an 18th level ability, it's a little underwhelming. It is kind of cool that you can do it. You can do it once a day, but like 5 sorcery points is kind of seems like a high cost.
And you're only talking about 3d10 force damage for an 18th level ability. That's kind of weak. I mean, I'd bump that down to sorcery points or spell slots. This character is all about expending spell slots. I can do it with my psionic sorcery to make it not have the use of verbal somatic material. I can do it to alter my body, or I can do it to do my free teleport kind of thing. So like these guys aren't doing what other sorcerers are doing of using their sorcery points to get spell slots back.
To do sorcerer things, yeah.
So
they're going to eat through them fast, and some of the abilities are just a little underwhelming for the cost.
Right.
Like Thunderstep is basically a spell where you can teleport. I think it's a high level spell. It's like 5th level. But you do a bunch of damage to things that were standing next to you. And then you can teleport and you can bring someone with you. So I, as an 18th level ability, I just feel like maybe they need to get this more often, or the damage should be a little bit more.
So what if you changed this to basically just be like Thunderstep, but as opposed to doing sonic damage, it did the force damage.
What is the sonic damage you speak of?
Thunder damage. Sorry.
That's what happens when you play a lot of editions of this game. I mean, all in all, it's kind of thematic and cool. I'm a little underwhelmed with the Aberrant Mind compared to the other psychic classes, to be honest with you.
It has a lot of versatility. It has a butt ton of theme built into it.
Yeah.
I enjoy it. I like it, but I agree with you that it's definitely less powerful than a lot of the other sorcerers.
Yeah, but hey, folks, let us know. Discuss it amongst yourselves with us and the Nerdarchy community. Are you playing them? Maybe we're completely wrong. Your experience is completely different when it comes to using the Aberrant Sorcerer or the Aberrant Mind Sorcerer. We'd love to hear your thoughts.
While you're down there, don't forget to do all those fun things like, share, subscribe. Even go ahead and click on that notification bell so you don't miss a single video.
Quick reminder, every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we drop new videos over on the channel. Come on back. Can't wait till then. Click the card up here and you can check out the last video we did for Tasha's Cauldron and everything, where we discuss the Rogue Soul Knife.
So until next time,
Stay nerdy.